home of Jehovah's Witness.
Hi, I just have a quick question I was wondering if someone could help me with.
What was your question?
Do you have a minute?
Just a minute.
Okay. Okay. Well, you want me to? Would there be a better time? I mean, I can try back later.
What was your question?
Oh well, I had heard another Jehovah's Witness. I see it regularly on the news from time to time. Another Jehovah's Witness died from refusing a blood transfusion. And so I was kind of looking on the website. I was trying to figure out what is the reasoning behind that, since not even Jewish people believe those scriptures apply to transfusions, rather just eating. And I don't know any other religion, even Bible, Christian religions that teach that. So I was trying to figure out why. I didn't really know why. And one thing I found, it said that blood is sacred because it represents life.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Yeah, so it's a symbol.
And that is the reasoning behind it.
Yeah, but my question about that is, why is the symbol of life more sacred than life itself?
I'm not understanding, because that's what... Let me get my Bible. Hold on a second, please. Morning, ma'am. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hi.
What happened to the other lady?
She went to find some information that would be helpful.
Oh, good.
She's still here with me.
I see.
So from what I understand, you heard something or read something about not taking blood?
Oh, yeah. I was looking into it because I saw in the news another Jehovah's Witness died from not taking blood. That's in the news regularly. Sometimes it's a young mom that just bleeds out, and, things like that. So I found it so disturbing. Right. So I was looking up trying to understand the reasoning, because not even Jewish people believe those Old Testament verses apply to transfusions, life-saving blood, but food, eating. One thing I found on the online library, I was asking her about, it said that, I found this really curious. It says, blood represents life and thus is sacred. So it's a symbol of life. Is a symbol of something more sacred than life itself?
So, since it's a symbol of life, we know life came from...
I wanted you to get what I'm asking, okay?
Oh, sorry.
Did you understand the question?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so this is actually saying that just something that's just representing something is more sacred than life itself when it comes right down to it, which I find I don't follow that at all.
Okay. So let me see if I can help you with a line of reasoning on that. So the account or the thought there was that blood represents life and it's sacred.
Is life sacred too? Life itself?
Right. But then we have to look at, who's the one that has given us life? Who has the authority to say what represents life, how we should use it? Is it man or is it our Creator? And so when he gave those laws and how blood should be used, he was showing the seriousness of how he views how we use blood. And he is the only one, our Creator, that has the right to say that how it's used. And all throughout the scriptures, he's shown us that blood returns to him. And like with the Mosaic law, they were to make sure they poured it out
Oh, yeah,
when
I
they were
see. I have a
handling
question
the
about
animals.
that.
Okay.
You all can take parts of blood now. That was a recent change.
Well, it's up to the conscience of individuals, and that blood, as far as that, because we have, and this is what hospitals don't tell you, and nurses and doctors, because they have bloodless hospitals today. There's about 5 in the United States, maybe more. And those doctors are saying, because of Jehovah's Witnesses not taking blood, they had to find other ways to save lives. And what they've come across to find out that blood really is not the total key to saving lives as people would think. There are blood expanders, there's other alternatives that have saved lives for witnesses and people that were not witnesses.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the situations where there is no alternative. They even featured.
There is an alternative. It's always.
No, there is not always. They even featured that on the Awake magazine. Children who died from not taking blood. Did you see that one? No, it's on the Awake magazine. They even agreed with that. They praised them as martyrs. Did you ever see that magazine? It's so disturbing.
Wait a minute. What do you say?
It was in the Awake magazine. The Watchtower Society praised children for dying from blood. Their pictures are on an Awake magazine. You should
are they
see
praising them for dying?
Yes.
Because
they sure are.
No, well, I've been a witness for over 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
And,
maybe you missed that one.
No. I really haven't. And let me just help you to see something, ma'am. Going back to that, we have videos that we had to go sit and talk with doctors, and those doctors actually, if you want to use the word praise us for helping them to find other ways to save lives.
But no what doctor would say. There's always an alternative. That's why it's in the news regularly, okay?
You haven't seen it?
Yes, I actually have read a lot of the information. Okay,
have you got
this magazine, the Awake magazine, May 22nd, 1994.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the older one. That's the older one.
It's horrific. Truly horrific.
Okay, but there's been a lot of updates. There's been a lot of updates since that. Yeah. So you're going back to 94.
Yeah, that's horrific. And just to imagine that they used to teach that Jehovah was against blood fractions, and maybe those kids just needed blood fractions. So they died for that call it old light.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay. Are you seeking answers to understand?
No, I'm totally annoyed. I'm totally angry.
Okay,
at this.
I know, and so if you allow me, I don't know if you're looking for a reasonable answer or are you just, I'm trying to understand I can understand a person not understanding something and they want answers and they want reasonable answers. Yeah. But if you would allow me to do that, the article that you're referring to is 1994.
So what?
Here we are in the year 2000.
They were teaching that is the will of Jehovah. So I do think that's relevant. You saying that's not relevant? These child martyrs because it's 1994.
Actually, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything because you're not allowing me. You're saying it to me. I'm not saying it. You're saying it.
Don't try to say that's old and it's been updated. Okay. Are you serious?
All right, ma'am.
The words that you are using?
Ma'am.
Are you serious? Does this bother you?
What bothers me is you're not allowing me to say.
Okay, well, you started saying it's old. I mean, come on.
Well,
they said it's from Jehovah at that time.
Ma'am, okay, listen. If you're not allowing me to say it, then we can't even go any further.
Well, say something else besides that this is old, okay? Like you're trying to pass this off. I'll let you go ahead now. Try to say something else. I'm not going for that old light thing. Okay, so what do you got? What else do you have?
Here in the year 2000 plus, around the world, those bloodless hospitals that exist today, that is open for the public, not just Jehovah's Witnesses, teams of doctors have come together to meet with us. And those teams of doctors have found innovative ways to save lives with not only minor surgeries, but open heart, knee surgery, even brain. And what they have said to us, that because of our stance, scripturally for not taking blood, it has caused them to find other ways to save lives.
Sometimes.
And what they did, yes, sometimes when you give someone blood transfusion, they die anyway. They still die.
No, what I was saying is sometimes there is no other alternative. And blood transfusions do save lives. There is no bloodless alternative. Recently, a young new mom in Canada
But ma'am, you're not
died.
answering that question. You're not answering my question. Have people died from after taking blood transfusion?
It doesn't matter because that's not the point we're talking about. We're talking about
the point.
that there is risks. Everybody knows that. But there's a time where you will die if you don't get the blood that you need. And
there's times you will die.
You guys keep, and that's not the point anyway because it's not a medical
scripturally
issue.
speaking,
they're using the Bible or a spiritual
Do you have
issue.
a Bible in front of you?
There's no Bible verses about blood transfusion.
Do you have a Bible
of course.
in front of you?
They didn't
Please
exist.
turn to Acts. You said I'm going to share you a scripture. Turn to Acts.
Yeah, I know about the Jerusalem Council.
No, that has nothing to what Acts 15, if you could just read that.
It's called the Jerusalem Council is why I'm saying that. Acts 15.
Can you
I know
quote that
about
scripture
that.
then?
It's talking about eating blood. It's not talking about life-saving blood transfusions. Even Jewish people never interpreted
it. It didn't say eating blood. It said abstain.
Right.
It didn't say how. It said abstain.
Yeah, but it's talking about that. It's talking about eating blood. Also, what is the biblical basis?
Well, all right, let's go with that. Let's go with eating blood. So let me give you this illustration. If your doctor told you you absolutely cannot drink alcohol, but then you decide, well, he said I can't drink it, but I will put it in my vein intravenously. If you're receiving it intravenously, are you following the doctor's rule where he says do not take alcohol? Because people are fed intravenously when they cannot be fed by a spoon or fork, and so they're still eating it.
But but blood is not eating. It's not digested. It's likened scientifically more to a tissue transplant. Like you're missing something, just like an organ transplant. It's not an organ, but it's considered a tissue. It is not digested. It doesn't go into your stomach. It's not like eating at all.
Does.
It's for helping you, for saving lives.
It goes throughout your whole body.
Yeah.
That blood travels to your veins.
Unfortunately, I'm explaining why your illustration is a total false analogy. I don't think even the Watchtower uses it anymore.
If you're looking for answers, and I don't know your background as far as I will tell you this. Me being one of those witnesses can tell you better about our organization and myself rather than someone that's not a witness. I can tell you that. It's the same I can't tell you about your faith because I don't know what your faith is. I don't know who you are. But I can tell you more about me. Now, whether you want to agree with that, the statistics shows that 90% of the people that have blood transfusion in hospitals, they are risked at infections and they die sooner. People that don't have blood transfusions come out of the hospital sooner and live a little longer. Now, that's a fact. Ask doctors, talk to them. Blood also, you may not know this, that in hospitals, that's a big money business. But that's not why Jehovah's Witnesses don't take it. We take it solely because our Heavenly Father, Jehovah God, has the right to say what happens with blood. And throughout the scriptures, we to abstain from it. Whatever way that means, we abstain from it. We love life. That's why we go to hospitals. We love life. That's why we go to doctors. We love our children. That's why we take them to the doctors. But when it comes to violating God's law, that's where the line is drawn. And fortunately, there are hospitals that respect that and have saved lives. Whether you want to believe that or not, that's up to you. I can't make you believe that.
You had said it must be poured out. Where do you think they get blood fractions?
Scripture says.
Yeah.
The scripture says.
Why do you accept blood fractions then? Excuse me, can I
we
finish?
don't take whole blood. Yeah. No whole blood. No whole blood.
I know. I'm talking about blood fractions.
Could
I just let me finish for a second? You said that the blood must be poured out. Do you realize that blood from fractions comes from hundreds of blood transfusions, donations that people gave that is stored. Okay?
And when they're talking about fractions, they're talking about 1%, 2%.
Right.
We're not talking about whole blood. We're not talking about whole volume.
Where do you think fractions came from?
We're talking about a dot. We're talking about an ounce.
The amount
that.
Where do you think they come from?
Are small.
Some of them take lots of blood.
But that's not a transfusion. That's not a transfusion.
Yeah. Did you know that Watchtower used to define it as a transfusion, and that fractions were also forbidden?
Well, more research has been done, and the doctors and
it's not based on any new
have
research.
come to clear.
They fractionated since the 1940s.
Come up to the year 2000,
ma'am,
and see the research
horrific.
that's been done.
It's horrific that they prohibited them before.
You're entitled to your thought. You're entitled to your thought. I'm sorry you feel that way,
no,
but
not
you're most certainly entitled.
You're transferring.
It is a feeling.
No,
it is.
not a feeling.
It is.
It's that
but you haven't talked to the doctors.
There's no biblical basis for which portions of blood you can accept.
There is.
Where is that in the Bible?
You just don't want to accept it, and that's your choice.
Did you know that white blood cells go into babies when you're breastfeeding them?
You know what?
Did you know
I don't think we're really getting anywhere, because I say this and you're still saying it's horrific, and that's your choice, ma'am. I respect that. But right now, if you're not, we don't force people to believe, but I'm just telling you why, and whether you agree with it or not, that's your choice. But over 8 million of us, and I've had family members that refuse blood, and they are healthy and alive today. And I'm so thankful, because we honor our Heavenly Father, Jehovah. And, if we should die, we know that we're in His memory and we'll be resurrected. So the bottom line is, our Creator, whoever you worship, that's the one you want to be loyal to. Come what may, not love ourselves more than others.
There's nothing about transfusions in the Bible. And the Awake magazine...
Well, there's nothing about hell in the Bible or Trinity. There's not.
The Awake
those words
magazine
you're not going to
that
find.
tells these horrific stories is made.
You're still referring to 1994.
Yes. Do you know that? Will today's new light be old light tomorrow? So when you do away with blood prohibition altogether, you say, "Oh, that's okay. It was old light."
Isn't textbooks today when you go to work, when you go to school? Aren't the textbooks up to date?
Yeah, because you know what? They don't affect people's lives like dying children.
Yes, they do.
No, they
do. You know why?
And
because
they don't.
Excuse me. Business course.
They don't say they're God's channel.
They do.
People that write textbooks don't say they're God's channel. There's no. Again, you're really into false analogy.
No. Well, okay. Thank you for calling.
Remember,
so sorry
check out that Awake and really,
ma'am,
really see if you think that's God's heart. It's Awake, May 22nd, 1994.
No, she's not. That's right.
Okay.
Ma'am,
check it out.
Thank you for calling.
They said that was from Jehovah. But
okay.
Hey, thanks for talking.
Well, thank you for your day. Bye-bye.
God bless you.